Hello, this is Mr. Chance. This is writing lesson number 3 related to revising. If you're caught up with the work that we're doing in class, you have done pre-writing on a topic of your choice, and you've produced a rough draft on that topic, and now it comes time to revise your rough draft. Okay, so first thing is there is some vocabulary we need to do. So here's some more stuff for our glossary. Now the first one, pre-writing, should already be in your glossary, right? Drafting and revising, these are not complicated definitions. This is basically just outlining the steps of the writing process in an order. And as I mentioned in class, this order and this process is somewhat arbitrary. It's more related to the fact that if something's going to be taught, it's easiest to teach it in a sequential manner, going step by step by step. But in reality, an experienced writer, which you may not be yet, but an experienced writer, these steps become a little more loosey-goosey, and you'll eventually see what I'm talking about. Anyways, go ahead and pause the video and make sure you have these in your glossary, and then when you come back, I'm going to delete these and I'm going to move into the notes section. So there, now that you've copied those into the glossary, it's time for the glossary to go away. And here goes the glossary. The glossary went away. Oh, that was exciting. I'm going to make this a little bit wider. There we go. Yay. And let me go ahead and space these out a little bit more also. That seems reasonable. All right. So there are lots of different revising checklists. If you look on the internet for revising checklists, there's a bunch of them. All right, a bunch of them. What I want you to have in your notes is this, right? Let me highlight some things. Revising checklist, and then the 5 things to look at. I'm not really asking you to write down all of the questions. Of course, you may if you want, but I think you'll do okay if you shorthand these notes at least a little bit. So this is a revising checklist. There's 5 things. Again, I need to emphasize that it's not necessarily these 5 things in this order. Right? It's just they have to be put in a particular order, and this is the order your book uses. So here we go. So one of the things that I look at when I revise my work, when I'm looking at it again, revise from the Latin revisio, right? To look at again. I'm trying to make my writing better. I'm not fixing mistakes per se. I'm not correcting spelling or grammar or punctuation. I'm making my writing better. Okay, so I look at my ideas and the way I express those ideas. Okay, so are my ideas clear? Are there things I need to add to make my ideas more clear? Are there things that I could get rid of because they're redundant or unnecessary or off topic? Right, you're not always adding, sometimes you're taking away. I look at the organization. Is the order of my details sensible? Right? Is it clear to my reader? And that's the important thing to keep in mind. Clear to my reader, not clear to me. It's probably clear to me. I wrote it. If it's not clear to me, that's definitely a problem. But I need to consider it from the reader's perspective. If my details aren't clear, what do I need to do to make them clear? Okay. Then I look at my sentence fluency. I read my paper out loud. Does it have flow, right? Does it make sense? Are my sentences all short and choppy? I went to the store, I bought milk, that kind of thing. Is there a variety of types of sentences that I've used? Different lengths, different complexities, and so on. Then I look at my word choice. Are my words vague? We need to avoid vague words. If the word is vague, I need a preciser word that I can replace it with, right? Words have meanings, and I need to take those meanings into consideration, right? There's a difference between moved, ran, and fled, right? Each one of those words has different connotations and denotations. Need to watch that. Are there words that I've used too often? Have I started, and sometimes this is a problem with sentences, have I started too many sentences the exact same way? For example, like with the word then, don't do that, right? Maybe once, right? And then I look at the voice, or rather listen to the voice of my paper. Does what I wrote sound like me? Or am I trying to sound like somebody else? Am I trying to be like all highfalutin and impressive with my vocabulary because I think that's what my teacher wants to read? Not really, right? I want to hear your way of expressing things. Hopefully that are grammatically correct, but you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Do I sound like I know what I'm talking about? That's important. Even if I don't, do I sound like I know what I'm talking about? And how well have I communicated my enthusiasm for my topic, right? If my approach to my topic is motivated by boredom, it's probably going to be a bit of a failure as a writing assignment in terms of voice. Okay. So again, pause, get those in your notes, and then we're going to look at one last section about peer reviews. Okay, now that you're back, I'm going to go ahead and clear all of that out of the way and put another text box up here on the screen. I am not going to read every single one of your rough drafts and offer comprehensive constructive feedback on them. If I had to do that, we would not get writing assignments done in as timely a manner as I want them to get done. So instead, in addition to writing and revising and all that stuff, you're also going to get to practice being an editor. You're going to practice some peer reviewing. And peer review is the revising checklist, only it's not you looking at your own paper, it's you looking at somebody else's paper, right? So if I'm the peer, somebody hands me their paper and they say, here, please peer review this for me, and I would say, certainly, I'd love to do that. Nothing would make me happier. I would read it. You got to read it, right? With a critical eye, but not critical in a bad sense, right? Not that kind of critical. And here's just 5 basic rules for peer reviews, because you're going to give feedback to the person, right? Somebody gives me their paper to peer review. I'm going to give them feedback about it. Always start with what's good, right? Oh, I love the way you did this sentence. Ooh, this is exactly the right word. Wow, this really makes me want to learn more about this topic. Stuff like that. Be honest, right? But stuff like that. Then I would ask questions about what I don't understand, right? So this thing here that you're talking about, I don't know what that is, and your paper doesn't explain it, okay? I would offer specific suggestions, right? If a sentence is unclearly worded because the words aren't quite in the right order, I should offer a suggestion about, maybe move these words around a little bit. Maybe use this word instead of that word. And keep in mind that these are suggestions, right? They're not demands, they're not orders, they're not anything like that. They're just suggestions. And then in addition to these 3 things to do, there's a couple of things to not do. Don't be negative or harsh, right? There's something good that can be found in any writing assignment. It might have to work at it a little bit, but it's in there. It's in there. And the things that are wrong, there's a way to point that out without making the other person feel like they're being, put on the spot or being made to feel stupid or nobody needs that kind of negativity in their life, at school especially, right? That's not what we're here for. And then, as has already been alluded to, don't offer, no, wait, I'm doing that backwards. Don't identify a problem without offering a solution, right? So if I notice a word is misspelled, but I don't know how to correctly spell it, I might want to do a little bit of research about that so that I'm as helpful as I can be. Anyways, but we're not really looking at spelling on revising, so I'm not sure why I said that. Anyways, that's it for this video. We'll be going through this revising process in class fairly soon, and I look forward to seeing what y'all come up with your papers. It's going to be amusing and fun and all that good stuff, I'm sure. I'll talk to you later. Bye.